If I could open a beer bottle with my boobs, I would be an alcoholic solely just to show people that shit. Online fetishes that ruin people's lives. Created by wavywebsurf. As always, guys, I link the original videos down in the description. Check them out. Yeah, this one kind of caught my eye. I was like, this guy seems to make good videos. I'm curious, bro. I'm curious what online fetishes are out here ruining lives. Oh, sorry guys. Forgot to turn on the audio on Google.
Looks maxing attempts gone wrong is a topic I've discussed previously on the channel, but
it do be the looks maxers.
What about when internet users purposely modify their bodies to look freakish? The freak maxers, as I like to call them, are a strange
Bro. That's crazy. Why would you do that? It's like that fucking like parody kung fu movie of the girl with the 3 boobs. What?
Strange cohort, many of which with odd fetishes who have become infamous online for their often disastrous.
It's giving the Spy Kids movie. Am I wrong for saying that? What, like those little finger things? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong for saying that.
And disastrous efforts in modifying their bodies to achieve unconventional attention-grabbing looks. Many of these
I'm sorry. Did he use the Minecraft zombie sound effect?
modifying their bodies to achieve unconventional attention-grabbing.
That's crazy. That's kind of crazy, y'all.
Grabbing looks. Many of these freak maxers have ruined their lives in the process of gaining attention. From a 3-breasted woman scandal to amputating your own legs on purpose and going to prison for the crime of looking like a zombie, today we'll be discussing the disturbed and sometimes criminal exploits of the internet's most infamous freak maxers.
Criminal? All right, you got me hooked, bro. How the hell do you go to jail for some shit like that?
He used to be able to open a beer bottle with my boobs.
This woman it's a cry for attention.
He used to be able to open a beer bottle with my boobs.
This woman.
Fucking how? How in the hell do you open a beer bottle with your boobs? Also, if you could do that, why would you get a surgery that didn't allow you to do that anymore? Like, that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, you guys are saying it like that's a neat party trick. If I could open a beer bottle with my boobs, I would be an alcoholic solely just to show people that shit.
It's a cry for attention.
Are you faking it?
No, it's true. My surgery was recorded and it's gonna be on my show.
The tri-breasted woman scandal. When it comes to surgical looks maxing procedures for women, breast augmentation is a common pathway, and doctors will perform them eagerly with a varying degree of success. But one thing they will absolutely not do if they value their medical license is give a woman a third boob. So explain this.
She's an internet sensation, Jasmine Tridevil, the 21-year-old woman from Tampa who claims to have had a third breast implanted.
Of course she's from Florida. This all makes sense, y'all. This all makes perfect sense to me, bro.
Her video on YouTube has almost 1 million hits, and her pictures on Facebook have gone global.
Meet Alicia Hessler, better known online as Jasmine Tridevil, the internet's 3-breasted woman.
You guys should have given her 4 tits. That's just sick.
Tridevil hit the internet a little over a decade ago, showcasing her triple cannons across multiple platforms. The Florida-based massage therapist claimed after reaching out to dozens of different cosmetic surgeons that she finally found a doctor who was brave and crazy enough to install the extra breast. A claim that many online were shocked to learn, and some would outright try to disprove. From hidden thermal imaging cameras to airport espionage and more, this is when the internet and mainstream press became disturbingly obsessed with debunking a lady's third titty.
I mean, wouldn't that not come up on a thermal scan because it's not real, right? Like, there's no way. Well, I guess I don't know enough about that kind of surgery. Like, would they graft skin to create that boob? I was assuming that like the entire thing is like fake, but like maybe they're actually grafting skin for it. The word install got me. That's honestly appropriate wording for that. Hey, like you're not putting like, yes, I am getting a third boob installed on you. Like what?
Became disturbingly obsessed with debunking a lady's third titty.
Just so you know, I'm telling the truth. See?
Damn,
boobs.
back in the day when
Jasmine
just like the quality of stuff was just so much lower, bro.
Devil was first discovered online back in 2014 and almost immediately garnered a following thanks to her third middle boob and the bizarre story that came along with the boob. Jasmine claims she paid a plastic surgeon a lofty $20,000 sum to get the thing implanted, and she got the procedure for two somewhat controversial reasons. Reason one was literally that she knew the boob would make her famous, and the second reason was that she wanted to look, quote, unattractive to men.
I wanted to
Honestly, can you fucking blame her? That's so fair, bestie. I get that one.
make my
Second reason was that she wanted to look, quote, unattractive to men.
I wanted to make myself unattractive towards men sexually.
The three-breasted YouTuber described herself as a dominatrix and would post content reflecting such a description, intentionally riling up the internet at every turn with provocative photo shoots and interviews.
I mean, I feel like that would do the opposite. Like I was gonna say before I heard that segment right there, that like she's ahead of her time. Like, can you imagine if there was a tri-breasted OnlyFans girl? They would make so much money, I have no doubt in my mind. Like, I feel like I respect the hustle. I get it. If you're like, I want less men attention. But then why would you add one more of the thing that men are so obsessed with and then brand yourself in this way if you're trying to, do y'all, like, the disconnect is missing for me.
If I go
Riling up the internet at every turn with provocative photo shoots and interviews.
If I go to a park where there's children, parents will give me dirty looks. It's like beyond ridiculous how dramatic some of these people are. But then if I go to a bar, it seems like everybody likes it. Everybody gets in line for a picture. It's like a paparazzi, they don't stop.
Tri-Devil's outrageous appendage and online behavior drew the ire of pundits and online gawkers around the United States. This was like Bonnie Blue fucking 1,000 guys in one night, but the more innocuous early internet version of it. And kind of like Miss Blue's recent pregnancy claims, in the case of Jasmine,
I can't believe this is how I'm learning that Bonnie Blue is pregnant. Yeah, you guys are saying it. I'm kind of understandable if like parents are like, what are you doing at a children's park, bro? I feel like you can't walk around being like, oh wow, people had weird reactions to my tri-boob. Like, yeah, dude. Like, I for sure would do a double take. I'd be like, you know? And I like to think I'm respectful, but like, you just don't see that every day.
that version of it. And kind of like Miss Blue's recent pregnancy claims, in the case of Jasmine here, hoax allegations quickly bubbled up.
I definitely think this is a hoax, and the facts certainly point to that. This woman it's a cry for attention. Is what she did any different than Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton putting out sex tapes, or Miley Cyrus and all the sensationalist things she's done? These young women learn from stars like this. It creates this culture of people just seeking fame and doing really crazy things.
It's kind of funny looking back to 2014 and seeing how
I don't think that's a bad take, Loki. Yeah. I'm sure back in the early days, people were like, oh, Kim Kardashian's doing crazy shit for views. So should I.
Fame and doing really crazy things.
It's kind of funny looking back to 2014 and seeing how much attention was given to a woman saying she had a third breast implanted. A claim like that in 2026 wouldn't even get a viral tweet. It goes to show you how much smaller the internet was even 10 years ago. I mean, three-breasted woman, that's an all hands on deck scenario back then. Everyone's parasocially investigating this chick for weeks on end. Simpler times, man.
I low-key think that would be crazy even nowadays. I think if someone got a tri-boob surgery, that would be the talk of the town. Like, I can already see the posts from meme accounts. You know, they'll do like the news thing and that like, I don't know, me personally, I think that would be just as wild and outrageous today.
There was good reason to suspect a hoax here because, well, at the time, there was no record of a licensed doctor providing a third boob implant, like it had never been attempted in history. The American Board of Plastic Surgeons Code of Conduct demands that no operation must be carried out without the, quote, full respect for human dignity, and procedures must, quote, enhance the norm. Which this is most certainly not enhancing the norm. No self-respecting surgeon would perform something like this, and a back alley hatchet man would likely not be able to make them look so...
Am I crazy or does she have a lazy eye? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Triple boob and lazy eye, that is a crazy combo.
Symmetrical, if you know. And a back alley hatchet man would likely not be able to make them look so symmetrical, if you know what I mean. Which, of course...
Okay, I was gonna say, if someone wants a third boob, is it really that unethical to give them the thing that they want? I don't know. I'm curious to hear how this like ruined their lives, but like, I don't know. Assuming that like nothing bad happens and she doesn't get like infected by it or something like that. Like, I'm kind of sitting here like, let the girl have her third boob. Yeah, if it negatively impacts their health, I'm all for it. But like, is it really? I don't really see here how it can cause harm, but maybe it will. Maybe it will. It didn't look infected. That's how I feel.
And would like,
yeah, people get horn implants. Like, to me, I don't think this is. I think this might be the most crazy, like, visual. People don't do this type shit that we've seen in a while, but I don't think it's that crazy. Tattooed eyeballs, yes. That's how I, like, that to me is a little bit wilder than, hey, I just want a third one of these, you know? 2's fun, but have you ever heard of 3?
Likely not be able to make them look so symmetrical, if you know what I mean. Which of course begs the question, was Jasmine a big fat phony lying for attention? I mean, that would be unthinkable, right? Nobody on the internet has ever done something like that before.
Was it a lie?
Would you be willing in the future to prove, or do you feel like you need to prove it?
I don't feel like I need to prove it.
And why is that?
Because I know my tits are real. That's all that matters.
There was without a doubt some major shiest hovering around old Jazzy here. She was really allergic to providing proof, not producing any medical records or surgeon names when asked. And when folks requested, let's just say, up and close, personal, tangible evidence, she'd only allow unconvincing quick glimpses of the triple teat.
And when we asked to see her third breast,
Can you hold it up a little longer so we can get a better shot of it?
I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Something else that wasn't helping Jasmine's case in terms of not being an attention-seeking hoaxer was that she often denied interviews if the interviewer sought to ask questions about her procedure. She would only accept interviews if the topic was about a reality show that she wanted to start. Jasmine had convinced herself that this boob was about to land her a lucrative TV deal, and she promised everyone everything about the boob would be explained in her TV show. Yeah, I'm fucking sure.
So you're starting a reality show, you say, but you don't, I mean,
Getting a tri-boob? What kind of reality show would that even be for? My life as a tri-boob woman. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, I'm honestly, the more and more I was looking at that shit, I think it's fake. It has to be fake, right?
I'm fucking sure.
So you're starting a reality show, you say, but you don't, I mean, do you know what network this is going to be on, or are you just hoping that someone picks up this reality show?
My goal is to get it on MTV.
Your goal is to get it on MTV.
Yeah, and if I can't get it on a network, I'll put it on YouTube, but I'm pretty confident that it's going to get on a network.
And do you have a name for this reality show, like the girl with 3 boobs, or, I mean, have you thought that far ahead yet?
Jasmine's Jug.
So far, everything was
I can't lie, that's kind of fucking funny. Welcome back to another episode of Jasmine's Jugs. not pimp my cleavage. Oh my God. Wow. Just wow.
was going to plan for
Yet.
Jasmine's Jug.
So far, everything was going to plan for Jasmine. Yeah, she had her skeptics and haters, but the third boob had made her one of the most viral internet figures of 2014. If her goal was fame, that third boob helped her get it. So what happens when that third boob is seemingly proven to be fake? And not like she just got fake tits fake, we're talking like the shit was glued on kind of fake.
Oh.
The airport incident.
Oh.
The beginning of the end for Jasmine began on a day in September of 2014. There was an incident at Tampa International Airport involving a thief who had stolen a bunch of luggage from an American Airlines conveyor belt. According to reports, one of these stolen luggage bags belonged to Jasmine. The thief was reported, and thankfully on September 16th, the cops managed to find and detain the culprit after identifying them on CCTV surveillance footage.
No fucking way. No fucking way this is how she gets caught, from some random person stealing luggage at an airport.
Because there was a crime, a public incident report had been created, and the report had a list of inventory items found within the stolen bags. According to several media outlets that subsequently pulled these public records, one of the items that was found in Jasmine's bag was a 3-breast prosthesis, marked by the owner as being valued at $5,000. Well, Jasmine.
Sorry. That was a crazy noise that just came out of my mouth there. Like, not the titty. Can you imagine being that guy? Can you imagine being the guy who stole the luggage? Just like, yeah, bro, I can't wait to fit. I can't wait to see what I find in this fucking suitcase I stole. Holy shit. like, bro. Yeah, that's a plot twist, y'all. All 3 of them being fake? Wild. Triple booby hostage. You right? That's so good.
Marked by the owner as being valued at $5,000. Well, Jasmine, what do we have here?
At her Tampa home, Hessler beeline for her front door.
Are you faking it?
No, it's true. My surgery was recorded and it's gonna be on my show.
The prosthetic in the luggage, the implication is pretty obvious. It suggests that her entire boob job story was fake and that she was a crazy attention whore wearing a prosthetic boob to look freakish for clout. I mean, how else do we explain it? Jasmine would most certainly attempt to, giving at least 2 different stories to try to rationalize the existence of the prosthetic in her bag.
I can't believe they keep using this photo, bro. Just sends me to the atmosphere every single fucking time.
To one outlet, she reportedly claimed that her surgeon told her to wear the prosthesis before her boob procedure in case she changed her mind. You know, try it out in public to see how it feels with 3 boobs. And that she simply still carried around the prosthetic even after having the surgery. Which makes—
Yeah, girl, give it up. Nobody's believing that shit. Listen, it was a good bit. Like, I honestly am not a fan of how much he's, like, dogging on this girl. Because, like, game is game. I get it. Back in the day when social media wasn't developed, you had to do some crazy shit to get famous. Honestly, I respect it. I respect it. She's ahead of her time. I guarantee there's some OnlyFans girl watching this right now. Like, hold on. I could fucking do this and not suffer the repercussions that she's dealing with. Hustle's hustle, baby.
that she simply still carried around the prosthetic even after having the surgery, which makes absolutely no sense. In another interview, she claimed that she had a fan offer her $500 to get a mold of her chest, and that was what that prosthetic was.
I had a fan offer me $500 to...
Not the 4 Loco! That's probably the authentic shit too, bro. That's an authentic 4 Loco she's ripping. You know what, Chet? Call me crazy. I don't fucking hate her. I dig the brand. Oh. You know, yeah, what a visionary you are, Miss Jasmine. That's how I feel. I feel like she was just ahead of her time, bro. If she was doing this shit today, she would be making millions.
Get a mold of my
Was.
I had a fan offer me $500 to get a mold of my chest.
All I'm saying is that people who provide completely different explanations for something when asked by a different person at a different time, they typically aren't telling the truth. At this point, it goes without saying that her 3rd boob grift was on life support. All it would take would be another light tap to her credibility, and most would see Jasmine as a complete hoax artist. And well, we'd get more than a light tap, as an unhinged German would go out of his way to deliver the kill shot to the Tri-Devil scheme. Knowing how much Jasmine craved attention, a German TV producer by the name of Hans Hubner had reached out to her, offering to—
He looks like such a douchebag. Look at him. Does he also have a lazy eye? Do I have a lazy eye?
A German TV producer by the name of Hans Hubner had reached out to her, offering to meet up for an interview that would seemingly go on TV or be published online. Jasmine agreed, but Hans had something devious up his sleeve for the meeting. Hans was keen on busting the 3rd boob claim once and for all, and prior to the interview, this dude set up what's been described as a $100 thermal camera purchased from Home Depot. He set up this thermal camera and directed it at where Jasmine would be sat. During their interview, the thermal camera recorded heat signatures from her body, which he reviewed after the whole thing wrapped up. And well, let's just say there was a bit of a problem for Jazzy because, well, right where that 3rd boob was sitting, there was a giant unmistakable cold spot. And anybody who has ever grabbed a voluptuous breast knows them things ain't cold in the slightest.
Sorry, guys. Now I'm just thinking about the logistics of, like, if this were done, would that boob be warm? I just don't know enough about plastic surgery, but, like, I'd assume that it has to be fake, right? Would it, because, like, I'm trying to think, bro. Like, if I got a fucking another boob put right here, like, how would that even... I'm just assuming it would be made with, like, fake material. Would they graft my skin? I just genuinely don't know. And then would that skin appear hot? Yes, because it would have blood supplied. That's a good point. Good talk. Dude, how would you even do that? Now I need to see a video about a guy, like a plastic surgeon being like, this is possible or not possible. Like, I need to know if somebody could actually make the tri-boob happen. Yes, because skin and blood, some boob procedures, and some body fat. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. They could just like, it almost, oh my God, is it like a tummy tuck where they like suck the fat out? Could like, or no, that's not a tummy tuck. The one where they, liposuction. That's what I'm thinking of. Bro, what if I just liposucked all the fucking tummy fat I got and I just came out with a third boob? I feel like at that point I have to open up an OnlyFans, right? That's crazy. Okay.
While I wouldn't chew his breast, knows them things ain't cold in the slightest. While I wouldn't call this ethically questionable acquired evidence concrete, it's fair to say that the gig was up.
I'm telling you right now, I'm real, and I don't care if you don't believe me.
Jasmine had been thoroughly exposed as a hoax artist. There was no surgery that installed a third breast. It was just a prosthetic in the hands of a fame-seeking Florida woman. After being exposed, some accused Miss Tri-Devil of outright fraud. Now, I'd maybe agree with them here, but what...
I mean, I think if people were paying her for things based off of her being a tri-boob, I think that does count. Right? That's how I feel like it could be fraud.
Some accuse Miss Tri-Devil of outright fraud. Now, I'd maybe agree with them here, but what money did she actually make from perpetrating this? As far as I'm aware, none. This wasn't a big money maker by any stretch, more like elite unemployed behavior, if you ask me. With her claim to fame exposed as nothing more than a prosthetic, Jasmine faded into irrelevancy and was ridiculed for many years online. The treatment of her on the internet was brutal for some time, and the humiliation was real. She still even tried to desperately cling on to the third boob claim for a bit, but while it took her some time, she would eventually come clean about not having a third implant, albeit in a roundabout way. For example, on her Alicia Hessler channel, which I'll remind you is Jasmine's real name, she uploaded a video on September 30th, 2015, where she's clearly not wearing the prosthetic, and it's very clear that she has
What am I looking at right now? What am I looking at right now, bro?
where she's clearly not wearing the prosthetic, and it's very clear that she has two normal, well-endowed breasts, not three. Jasmine's big lie has certainly followed her over the years, and I can only imagine that having this sort of baggage has affected her life negatively in many ways, be it careers, relationships, what have you. It's literally impossible to escape something like this when most of it happened online, and I think she has reckoned with this fact. She actually has seemingly decided to lean into her old persona. I mean, what's there to really lose at this point?
This is scary. This is like, girl, get your bag, I guess, but this is scary, bro. I'm just trying to see, like, where this must be an insane fucking prosthetic. I can't see shit, and the quality's so much better now. This looks uncanny valley to me. I agree.
decided to lean into her old persona. I mean, what's there to really lose at this point? In 2017, Jasmine would begin uploading music to her YouTube channel, which is called Tri-Devil, embracing the three-boobed lady look as an
Okay, that looks so like, come on, bro. Like, come on. That even I can tell that's fake. I've never even seen boobies a day in my life. I'm a good Christian little boy. I'm saving myself for marriage. What are you guys talking about?
YouTube channel, which is called Tri-Devil, embracing the three-boobed lady look as an entertainment alter ego of sorts. And you might be surprised to find that despite her being known as the fake three-boob lady,
Bro, why does that look like that fucking blobfish? You know what I'm talking? You guys know what I'm talking about? Like, like, come on, come on, bro. Like, you can't tell me that. Oh, wrong one. Like, you can't tell me that. Come on, man. Come on, don't play with me. Tell me that's not insanely accurate comms. Oh my God.
there are people out there who are that despite her being known as the fake three-boob lady, there are people out there who are fans of her. She actually maintains a niche following to this day. You really have to appreciate her dedication to the bit. A final note to this case that I want to talk about is that a few years ago, Jasmine tried to get a third boob installed for real this time. Yeah, she never met this goal, and as far as I know, never got the procedure.
$70,000? She must not be marketing herself correctly, because I feel like you could make a whole thing out of being like, I want a third boob. Help me get my third boob. And the internet would be like, fuck it, bro. That's so funny. Like, I'm sorry. I kind of just want to see it. Am I crazy for that? Someone getting like a legitimate third boob would be so fucking funny. Like, to me, it's not even a sexual thing. It's just objectively funny, bro. I'd give $10 to a third boob. You know what, Mbem? I agree. I think for science, it just has to happen, right? Like, who's that really famous plastic surgeon? He was on TikTok for a while. Get his ass on it. What was his name, y'all? Not Dr. Mike. Dr. Miami! Yes! Dr. Miami, we need you! Get my home skilly vanilly Jasmine a third boob, baby!
Which I have to say is probably for the best. But I just have to know never installed for real this time. Yeah, she never met this goal, and as far as I know, never got the procedure, which I have to say is probably for the best. But I just have to comment, like, Jasmine, you really were ahead of your time. The do anything for attention and fame angle is pretty much status quo in today's internet. And if something like OF existed in her time online, there's no doubt in my mind that this girl would have become like a multi-millionaire. That's not me just being a gooner, it's the fucking truth of the situation. Like, she has a—
I agree. Like I said, I think if she did this now and was good at marketing, like, there's no way that this wouldn't go absolutely insanely viral.
OF now, but that's not me just being a gooner, it's the fucking truth of the situation. Like, she has an OF now, but it's nowhere as big as it would have been if this came out during the hoax, when it was breaking, you know what I mean? When becoming obsessed with fame and a truly bizarre tri-chested look essentially derails your entire life and makes you a national pariah, that was the story of Jasmine Tri-Devil, the three-breasted lady. When researching a top—
I feel like this is crazy. Sorry, this is my content creator brain going burr. I feel like if she started a series on like TikTok called like day like posting every day until I have enough money for my tri-boob surgery. Like that would go so fucking dummy thick. Like, are you kidding me? What a fucking hook. You have text on screen posting every day until I have enough money for a third boob. I'm hooked. I'm invested. I'm trying. How can I support, bro? I need that for science. 3, 2 is already too many. That's what I'm saying, man. But like, hey, if she wants that back pain, who are we to stop her?
This Jasmine Tri-Devil, the three-breasted lady. When researching a topic this salacious in nature, I used Obscura VPN to hide my
VPN time.
And they are functional, and few of them actually keep you for a VPN. That's only investigators a month. Big thanks to Obscura VPN for sponsoring today's video.
According to investigators, Hopper falsely represented to insurers that his leg amputations were due to sepsis.
The case of Dr. Hopper, the leg chopper. All right, guys, it's about to get really fucked. Folks online get...
Yeah, I was going to say, by the way, I actually didn't think that one was that fucked, nor do I think it really ruined her life that bad. Like, girl got her 15 minutes of fame. That's kind of funny, you know? I respect the hustle, bro. She knew that she wanted one thing, and she actually came up with a pretty good idea to do it. It's about time for boobs maxing. That's what I'm saying, bro. W boobs maxer.
All right, guys, it's about to get really fucked. Folks online get pretty freaky with their fetishes, but I struggle to think of someone who has taken it further than the doctor with an amputation fetish, a sexual proclivity that landed him in prison. Here we go, I guess. 49-year-old British vascular surgeon Dr. Andrew Neil Hopper had worked at the Royal Cornwall Hospital since 2013, performing a number of surgeries and amputations over the years. And after some strange circumstances, this surgeon would find himself under the knife as well. On April 17, 2019, after returning from a family camping trip, Hopper was found in his home with life-threatening wounds on his legs. His legs were badly discolored, blackened, and blue, with him appearing to have suffered a severe freak vascular injury in both legs simultaneously.
I thought I was sort of getting better, but felt a bit achy, so I took a couple of paracetamol and a glass of whiskey and went to bed. My wife had tried to phone me, and I'd spoke gibberish down the phone to her.
Neil had contracted sepsis and the infection was attacking his feet. Okay, how did that happen, though? I feel very confused. Like, what's the whole story here?
I looked down and I could see that my feet were blue.
In what doctors believe to be a rare form of sepsis, Hopper was taken to the hospital where staff worked for 6 weeks trying to save his mysteriously ailing limbs, but their efforts were to no avail. And eventually the decision was made to amputate both limbs below the knee on May 17, 2019. Chop chop. A complete nightmare for any normal person, but as you'll soon come to find, the doctor was, let's just say, built different. He didn't think things were too bad at all. After getting
It's a crazy way to put that.
Was, let's just say, built different. He didn't think things were too bad at all. After getting his legs cut off from the mysterious illness, Hopper went on to secure close to £630,000 in insurance payouts, which was a major financial boon for him. But this payout wasn't the only thing Hopper was excited about at the time. The man actually seemed to revel in his amputee status. He seemingly liked being legless. Shortly after his legs were removed, the man created a YouTube page where he would frequently post about life as an amputee, covering everything from dealing with phantom pains, the process of getting prosthetics, returning to work, going on hikes, etc. He'd post tons of content. Now, I'm not saying that...
Not the James Bond music. See, this one is severely more fucked up. Because this is like at least with the tri-boob thing, that is just like something that is like additive. That I don't really think it like hurts anybody. This to me is like, bro, if you were this excited about something that like for some people is like a devastating thing, that's just evil, man.
Now, I'm not saying that you can't be positive in light of something like this, but there was a great deal of misplaced enthusiasm in these videos, and his exuberance to what would be a traumatizing life experience for most people was just odd, to put it lightly. While most would want privacy while adjusting to their new way of life, Dr. Hopper actively sought out media opportunities to share his experience as an amputee. Not just making YouTube videos, but upon returning to work, he invited a team of BBC journalists to follow him around the hospital. The whole idea was that it was like this inspiring story of a guy who had suffered a tragic medical situation, and he's overcoming this newfound disability and living a normal life again, even thriving, you could say.
It's giving those spouses that when their partner dies, they like try to reach out and get on media interviews to like make themselves look less guilty, and then eventually you find out that they were the ones that actually killed their spouse.
Newfound disability and living a normal life again, even thriving, you could say. Dr. Hopper would become a minor celebrity, an inspirational figure within Britain, frequently appearing on television for interviews, and most applauded his grit and determination despite the amputations. But this revelry of Dr. Hopper would soon be revealed as misplaced, as the sickening truth behind this guy and his amputations came to light. Sepsis wasn't the cause. It was much dirtier than that. The collapse of Hopper's apparent scheme begins as British authorities were investigating a Norwegian man named Marius Gustavsson. Gustavsson owned and operated an illegal website called Eunuch Maker. And for those of you who don't know, a eunuch, that refers to a male who has been castrated. And this—
Whoa. A eunuch is a boy or man who's been castrated. Throughout history, castration often served a special social function. The earliest records for initial castration were to produce eunuchs are from the Sumerian city of Lagash in the 2nd millennium BC. Over the millennia since, they've performed a wide variety of functions in many different cultures. Courtiers or equivalent domestics for espionage or clandestine operations. Castrato singers. I've actually heard of that one. It's so that they can like hit the higher notes. Concubines or sexual partners, religious specialists, soldiers, royal guards, government officials, and guardians of women or haram servants. Wow. Ugh.
No, a eunuch, that refers to a male who has been castrated. And this website, Eunuch Maker, well, it was a site that essentially distributed illegal red room fetish-style videos of people amputating parts of their bodies. Think BME Pain Olympics, but actually real. Gustafsson's operation was downright diabolical.
I've never understood gore. Like, I was never that kid on, like, Live Leak, like, deep dive. That just makes my skin crawl. Like, same reason I don't watch horror movies, bro. I know that shit's fake and I can't watch it, let alone, like, the real thing. It's,
but actually real. Gustafsson's operation was downright diabolical. The man allegedly recruited a team of back alley street surgeons with no medical experience or training to participate in what has been described as a little short of human butchery. These hatchet men performed unsanctioned body modifications on willing and sometimes unwilling participants. Limb amputations and penis removals being some of the most sought after procedures watchable on his website. One victim of Marius's machinations was a boy as young as 16 years old, who would later claim to law enforcement that he was tricked into a procedure by Gustafsson's goons while under the influence of drugs. It was a truly depraved—
I can't believe they're like people are this fucked up, bro. Just disgusting. Like, why are humans so fucking gross?
Gustafsson's goons while under the influence of drugs. It was a truly depraved operation devoid of any sense of morality or ethics, just pure evil for profit. These gruesome videos would be set behind a paywall, and twisted consumers paid hand over fist for these dark web style videos. Sources say that Gustafsson was making good money on these gruesome acts, reportedly profiting close to £300,000 in the 4 years that his
I'm sorry, he also has fucked up eyes. What is up with these people with weird fetishes having fucked up eyes? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Tell me I'm wrong.
Max, reportedly profiting close to £300,000 in the 4 years that his site was operating between 2017
wait, what? Hold on.
Gustafsson was making good money on these gruesome acts, reportedly profiting close to £300,000 in the 4 years that his site was operating between 2017 and 2021. And one contributor to this guy's ill-gotten profits.
That's so disgusting, bro. That's so $300,000. Like, I'm assuming there were a lot of people paying for this shit.
2017 and 2021. And one contributor to this guy's ill-gotten profits, well, you can look no further than Dr. Andrew Neil Hopper. You see, Hopper was a paying customer of Eunuch Maker, reportedly buying multiple videos from the website, videos that showed men willingly having their genitals removed. Hopper had a sexual fetish regarding amputation, and after viewing a great deal of this content online, he personally reached out to Gustafsson as a confidant, seemingly expressing the desire to have his own legs cut off, and asked how he should go about it. It's kind of wild that you got a vascular surgeon asking a back alley butchery operator how to amputate a leg, but the idea is Gustafsson knew how to go about it outside of a medical setting, so that's why I presume Hopper is asking him. Needless to say, the website owner was more than eager to help the doctor with his fetish of becoming legless. The doctor would go on to exchange over 5,000 messages and emails with the depraved administrator, the topic of these conversations often discussing how he could damage his own legs to trigger the need for an amputation, which could then be performed in a normal medical setting like an actual hospital. Gustafsson allegedly told the doctor that he had had success with a dry ice method, which involved freezing the subject's legs and forcing subsequent amputation. And so
What kind of sick people are doing this shit, man? That's Yeah, you guys are saying it in chat. Like, it is wild that this was somebody's doctor. Like, can you imagine the doctor that you went to for like a surgery or some shit? This is what he's into and this is what he's paying for. Oh, it's so, like, I feel so gross right now, chat.
Which involved freezing the subject's legs and forcing subsequent amputation. And so it was decided that Hopper was going to cause severe vascular damage to his own legs by soaking them in dry ice. 3 days before paramedics found the doctor at his home with injuries to his legs and feet that we discussed at the start of this story, Dr. Hopper used PayPal to buy around 44 pounds of dry ice pellets, and the man froze his own legs until there was no blood flow and permanent vascular damage had set in. This maniac just popsicled the shit to the point of amputation being required. There's no other.
So, and granted, I don't know much about medical stuff, but why wasn't this identified earlier? Like, did they just assume that his legs randomly went into sepsis like this? Is that like a thing that happens? He left a paper trail 10 miles long. He really did. I'm just so confused. Like, the police found this man with his legs in disarray and they never were like, hey, what's going on there? They likely assumed it was from an underlying cause. Huh. Okay. I don't know enough about medical stuff. I just feel like I don't know. I don't know anything about sepsis really, so I'm probably not the authority figure on like figuring that out, but that just seems weird to me.
Other way, maniac just popsicled the shit to the point of amputation being required. There's no other way to put it. This guy cut off his own legs on purpose for the fulfillment of a sexual fetish and then got to live out that fetish and, you know, brag about how he'd adapted to his life as a disabled person on YouTube and in the national press. And let's not forget he got a massive $600K insurance payout for an injury that he enacted upon himself. Further,
oh yeah, he's going to jail for that, right? That's insurance fraud for sure.
Investigations payout for an injury that he enacted upon himself. Further investigation was initiated on Hopper, where it was revealed the doctor had spent this money in grandiose fashion. 255,000 pounds went to home renovations, 15,000 for a luxurious hot tub, 22K for a camper van, 13,000 on prosthetics, and 52K was given to his wife as a gift, just enriching himself and his family with this disgusting fetish surgery. When Dr. Hopper was exposed in connection with Gustafson's eunuch maker site, the doc was arrested in March of 2023 on charges of fraud by false representation and possession of extreme pornographic images. The public...
Okay. That seems fair. Wow. Just... I couldn't imagine that, bro. I don't think there's any... And granted, it's like a fetish, so like kind of different. I don't think you could give me any amount of money for me to justify cutting off my legs. I just like that sounds terrible. Ugh.
Public representation and possession of extreme pornographic images. The public reaction to his case was disgust. I mean, this guy was a practicing vascular surgeon throughout all of it. A field of medicine that frequently deals in amputations. You have to wonder, this guy having a sexual fetish towards amputations, how many unnecessary or potentially savable limbs did he cut off to satisfy his sexual proclivities? When it came...
Holy shit, I didn't even think about that. Holy shit. I can't believe Miss Jasmine is being put on the same category as this whole thing. That's how I feel too, Kat. I'm like, we just went on like different ends of the spectrum. Like Jasmine was just trying to get famous and bamboozle some people. Should she have done that? Maybe not. This is evil and illegal and just awful, bro. Like, Jesus, let Jasmine get her bag. This guy should get all full focus of hate from the internet.
Potentially savable limbs that he cut off to satisfy his sexual proclivities. When it came time for trial, the senior prosecutor didn't mince words in regards to Hopper's activity. The senior crown prosecutor, Richard Parkhouse, said this: Hopper has a sexual fetish linked to amputation and paid to access these images for his own gratification. In his communications with the owner of the website, the truth about Hopper's own injuries was revealed, that the damage that led to his double leg amputations had been self-inflicted. Hopper failed to disclose this act when making 2 insurance claims for his injuries and fraudulently pocketed almost £500,000. Considering the allegations at hand, you can only imagine the defense will have to be pretty creative, and you could say they at least tried to be. During trial, Hopper's defense attorney, Andrew Langdon, claimed that his client grew up in a rural village in Wales and had always felt like he was in the wrong body, saying that Hopper identified with body integrity identity disorder and those with a desire to amputate one or more healthy limbs.
Oh, wait, actually, let me finish this.
The identity disorder, and those with a desire to amputate one or more healthy limbs. His attorney also stated that Hopper didn't regret the operations, but quote, bitterly regrets the dishonesty about the cause, unquote, going into detail that after the surgeries, Hopper had been totally overwhelmed by support from friends and family, which made it even more difficult to tell them what had really happened. Later in
Okay, that's a shitty excuse. I've never heard of this body integrity identity disorder. Sorry, the blobfish popping back up. Oh. Let's get like an official body integrity identity disorder or body integrity dysphoria is when your perception or mental image of your body doesn't match you physically. With this condition, you may want to amputate a healthy leg or arm to feel more complete. This is a challenging condition to manage, but there are treatment options available that don't involve amputation. I mean, yeah, it sounds like that is something that he definitely dealt with, but I don't think that excuses any of the actions that he took. Like, he still committed fraud and he still bought pornographic videos that he definitely shouldn't be buying from like a very illegal website. He spent the money fast. That's not guilt. I think that's a great argument, Mad Hatter. I feel like that's at least what the prosecution is saying. Me trying to remember how fucking attorneys work.
Friends and family, which made it even more difficult to tell them what had really happened. Later in September of 2025, Hopper pled guilty to 2 counts of fraud by false representation and 3 counts of possession of extreme pornographic images. He'd be sentenced to 32 months in prison by a Truro Crown Court judge, 22 months for the...
That doesn't seem like enough. Not even 3 years? I feel like it's a light sentence, low key. It's the UK, Sarby? Is the UK known for having really light sentences? Enlighten me. Y'all are saying UK. What was that? What do you mean? Wait, are y'all just talking about the UK? The US is known for having harsh ones? Call me crazy. I feel like this deserves something harsher. And also, I feel like in US, it's only harsh for people of color.
The fraud charge to 32 months in prison by a Truro...
They tend to have shorter sentences for prison. Interesting. Okay.
Crown Court judge, 22 months for the fraud charges and a further 10 months for the extreme images. So 2 years and 8 months in prison, which I think that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Make a fucking example out of this guy. He was a respected surgeon and gallivanted around as this amputee survivor. He was a sick fraud that probably has hurt dozens of patients and will never even know about it.
I feel like the punishment of 2 years and 8 months of prison is not that severe to the point where if somebody's thinking about doing this, they're going to be like, I shouldn't do it because of the consequences. Like, I feel like if somebody really wants this bad, they're going to be like, well, this guy got 2 years and 8 months. So like, how bad could it be? And also that, keep in mind, that's with buying those like videos and images, you know, which I guess probably anybody who's sick enough to like do that would probably be downloading and buying some evil shit off the internet. So
it's a sick fraud that probably has hurt dozens of patients and will never even know about it. As for the disturbed individual behind eunuch maker, Mr. Gustafsson, he'd be sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 22 years in 2024.
Okay.
In the aftermath,
that's fitting to me, bro. That is extremely fitting.
In prison with a minimum term of...
I think the other guy should have gotten the same sentence. I think, I forgot his name. I think the other guy should have gotten the same sentencing.
22 years in 2024. In the aftermath of his case, many of those who had received amputations from Hopper, they'd contact medical negligence firms.
Svender, I'm just seeing you point out that the amputee's name is called Hopper. That's fucking wild. I didn't even put that together.
Worried that if amputations from Hopper, they'd contact medical negligence firms. Worried that a physician who seemed sexually obsessed with amputations was possibly handing them out willy-nilly like they were candy in order to feed his morbid desires. In May of 2026, an oversight panel from the Medical Practitioners Tribunal Service made the decision to remove the doctor from Britain's medical registry. Hopper actually attended this panel in person. Well, sort of. He called in via phone from prison, and he said this, quote, "I attended the tribunal not to change the outcome, but to prove I understand the seriousness. I felt obliged to face the consequences in person. I do have principles, so I chose to face justice head on. It's taken me years to come to terms with what I've done. I'm a man of deep reflection and conscience. I'm not only ashamed of my actions, I'm appalled I was a part of the machinery. I cannot convey how sorry I am. It's behavior I find impossible to understand. I'm so sorry. I've never
It's behavior I find impossible to understand. It was your behavior. Like, I think it's fair for us to be like, this is behavior I find impossible to understand, but like, you're the one who did it, bro. It's giving a PR response.
sorry I am. It's behavior I find impossible to understand. I'm so sorry. I've never tried to excuse my actions. They were inexcusable. At the time, I had no understanding of the motivations. Needless to say, the doctor's sympathies and apologies have fallen on deaf ears. He deserves much worse than what he receives in terms of punishment. And I hope his former patients do their due diligence when it comes to reviewing their plan of treatment when under his care, because there's gotta be something there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, there's no way that there isn't more there that they could potentially dick this guy for. Defense was, Your Honor, I don't know why I did that shit. No, for real.
The Iranian zombie case. This case involves an Iranian woman with a strange proclivity for looking, let's just say, undead. And because of her look, she accidentally found herself in one of Iran's worst prisons.
Oh.
This is the Iranian corpse bride story.
You know what? At least she doesn't have a lazy eye. I'm sorry. We're throwing it back, chat.
In 2017, 19-year-old Iranian influencer Sahar Tabar, real name Fatima Kishband, began posting to Instagram and almost immediately got attention.
Like that. Holy. She's looks maxing? Nah, bro, she's zombie maxing. The fuck? What are you talking about? Look at this shit. Oh my God.
Her photos began posting to Instagram and almost immediately got attention. Her photos were incredibly macabre, and frankly speaking, the woman looked emaciated and ghoulish. A look that seemed to be a purposeful effort. This unusual appearance made her extremely popular, and the story behind why she chose to look.
Okay, but that's like extremely edited. I mean, like, you can tell, like, it's photoshopped right here to make her like really thin, but like, is her face photoshopped? I'm confused. We have to keep going. Hold on.
Like this would appearance made her extremely popular, and the story behind why she chose to look like this would propel her to international infamy. At the time, media reports claimed the story behind her look was that Fatima had botched her face and body, getting close to 50 surgeries in an attempt to look like Angelina Jolie. This shocking motive got the attention of internet users.
Fire that plastic surgeon. Because what?
like Angelina Jolie. This shocking motive got the attention of internet users around the world, with thousands feeling unsettled that someone would desecrate themselves in the quest of looking like a celebrity. The efficacy of her efforts in looking like Angelina, I reckon, let's just say that's up for debate. As Fatima became infamous online, she garnered the nickname Zombie Angelina Jolie, with many likening her look to characters like Emily from Corpse Bride. These ungodly and blasphemous comparisons would soon become problematic for Fatima.
Bro, if they're calling you zombie, insert celebrity, you're doing something wrong with your life, bro. You gotta take a step back and look at all the shit you're doing and be like, maybe, hear me out, I shouldn't. Oh, hi, Beans.
Godly and blasphemous comparisons would soon become problematic for Fatima. Rumors circulated that the highly theocratic Iranian regime was investigating Fatima for potential crimes against God, and state media outlets speculated that her appearance and the glamorization of it in the comments on Instagram could encourage young people to seek out bizarre procedures or develop eating disorders. Fatima
glamorization? People were glamorizing that look? Damn. I mean, is it healthy? No. Is it kind of creepy? Yeah. But like, I don't know, bro. I think at least right now I'm on the wave of like the tri-boob thing of like, hey, if that's really how you want to live your life, like, I guess. Crime against God is insane.
People to seek out bizarre procedures or develop eating disorders. Fatima, very much in tune with her public perception, felt the pressure and would seemingly course.
Oh, you guys are saying horror fans might be interested in something like that. Not Burton maxing Maria. Oh my God.
Very much in tune with her public procedure.
People are glamorizing Ariana Grande right now and she looks straight out of a horror film. Okay, that's fair. I feel like that makes more sense to me though, because like that's what people are like aiming for. Like her face cannot possibly, maybe not possibly, because there are some weird people out there we've come to understand from this video. But like I would say a majority of people should look at her face and be like, absolutely not. But Ariana Grande makes sense, even though it's definitely not healthy and someone should help her for real, for real.
Or develop eating disorders. Fatima, very much in tune with her public perception, felt the pressure and would seemingly course correct, walking back and debunking some of the more sensationalized claims associated with her appearance. Fatima stated that she had never made any claims of trying to look like Angelina Jolie, nor did she ever have 50 different plastic surgeries, and seemingly suggested that she achieved her strange looks primarily through makeup and by use of photoshopping tools. And from what I understand, she's telling the truth about this stuff. The aforementioned claims actually originated from a European gossip tabloid that went viral, and everyone took that as fact. She also attached a purportedly unmodified.
Yeah, I feel like those gossip pages like this back in the day were exactly like how Twitter is now, where the way that the only way that they could get paid was by saying the most defamatory, outlandish, crazy, stupid shit so that it would go viral and then people would get paid to see these fuck-ass ads on the side of their website. Like, and some of them still do that. Like, that's basically what Twitter is now. People just try to say some fuck ass shit so that their tweet goes viral and they make their like $40, bro.
Viral, and everyone took that as fact. She also attached a purportedly unmodified image of her face, which while clearly, she had some work done, it wasn't quite on the level of zombie that you see in the Instagram pictures.
Yeah.
After reading, it wasn't
like,
quite.
That's not crazy to me, you know? I mean, listen, is like the zombie thing a little weird? Yeah, but like, I'm curious to see how this plays out. Because I'm like, is it a little weird? Yeah, but like, let homegirl do her thing, man.
Right on the level of zombie that you see in the Instagram pictures. After reading this, my understanding of things is like Fatima's Sahar character is a sort of influencer / performance art alter ego thing. And while she's had plastic surgery, she's using a lot of tricks in post-editing to intentionally make her photos look like she just walked out of a crypt. Later in an interview with Russian news outlet Sputnik, she'd further emphasize to her fans and critics that her photos were extremely digitally enhanced. She says, quote, "No, of course, this is Photoshop and makeup. Every time I publish a photo, I paint my face in an increasingly funny way. It is a way of expressing yourself, a kind of art. My fans know this is not my real face," unquote. The woman would also emphasize that she never sought to look like Angelina Jolie and that the media had made that part up, clarifying that she just had some work done on her face.
Wait, it says, I did not want to resemble the cartoon character Rotting Bride. Now I understand that I look something like them, but I'm amused myself and imitating someone is not an end in itself. Okay.
Made that part up, clarifying that she just had some work done on her face. Definitely weird, and it's the type of thing people...
I mean, I guess I don't understand what she said there, but weird.
Definitely weird, and it's the type of thing people online get parasocial about and concern troll over. But all things considered, like, who is she really harming here? Can't a girl get a couple of surgeries and Photoshop herself to look like a fucking possessed demon on Instagram every now and then? According to the Iranian government, the answer to that question was hell no. And on October 5th, 2019, Fatima was arrested by Iranian authorities on charges of blasphemy, inciting violence, and gaining income through inappropriate means and encouraging youths to corruption.
For 10 years? I'm sorry, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. Is it a little weird? Yeah, but like, that's crazy. That is crazy.
And gaining income through inappropriate means and encouraging youths to corruption. The government's explanation for her arrest was due to numerous complaints about her Instagram account and because God said so. While in custody, Fatima was seemingly compelled to appear on Iranian state television and apologize for her Instagram activity. In the state media broadcast, she reportedly confessed that she yearned to become famous and added that since she had an army of followers, she thought that her path was a righteous one, and that intensified her activities. She reportedly clarified that, "I don't look like these Photoshop pictures right now. I saw people were following what I did, and when the likes grew, I felt like I was doing the right thing. My childhood dream was to become famous," finishing with, "Vulgarity on social media gets a lot of clicks. And if I didn't follow this path, I'd be in a much better place right now." An Iranian human rights group has described her televised apology as being made by coercion, which
I would agree with that. I think this is something that like low key people would maybe find like funny or like whatever nowadays. That's just like, that's so stupid. Like just one of those government things where it's like, really, this is your fucking priority? Is this woman just being a little silly goofy on the internet? Yeah, authoritarianism bullshit, exactly.
has described her I'd be in a much...
What is this, the Trump administration?
...better place right now. An Iranian human rights group has described her televised apology as being made by coercion, which I certainly agree. It was clear Fatima loved doing what she was doing on Instagram. The sudden pivot was most certainly because the government was like dangling the prison keys in front of her. The national press characterized her as, quote, "a victim with an abnormal personality and mental state who sought vulgarity on social media," essentially casting her off as nothing more than a criminal freak. As a result of looking like an undead ghoul for fun online, Fatima was sentenced to serve 10 years in prison by the Iranian regime. The woman was held in what has been described by foreign journalists as the, quote, "worst prison in Iran for women," a prison described as being rife with disease, poor sanitation, and being plagued by torture, murder, and rape. Thankfully, Fatima would only have to serve 14 months in this prison and was released after a combination of political protests and international...
I was going to say, bro, any years for that is insane. But I'm at least glad that she got out early, but that's just fucked up, bro.
...in this prison and was released after a combination of political protests and international pressure. Human rights groups strongly opposed her incarceration from the start, and apparently Fatima came down with a serious case of COVID while in lockup that got international media attention. I reckon not seeing it worth her dying in their custody over the ridiculous so-called crime she committed, the Iranian government released her in late October of 2022. Fatima has not been seen online since and maintains no major social media presence. And I
mean, bro, I'm sure she's fucking scarred. Like, you sent her to the worst prison in Iran. Like, I'm sure she didn't have a very good time and is healing from trauma that you put her through because she was being silly goofy on the internet. Like, that's just so gross. How the fuck was this a fetish? I don't think it is. I think the fetish title is a little bit clickbait. I think the only fetish that I would consider is the middle story, the amputee story. The boob one, maybe you could argue that is a fetish, but I don't really think that is one. I think she just was like, what's a great way I can get famous? 3 boobs.
Not been seen online since and maintains no major social media presence. And I can only imagine this isn't by choice. Rather, it's a necessity for her, as the government would likely lock her back up if she tried to relaunch her strange zombie-like alter ego. And well, you made it to the end of the video. Let me know what you guys thought about.
Yeah. Wow. That's fucked up, bro. That poor girl. I don't fuck with that, bro. Get her out of Iran. I hope to see her zombie videos one of these days and let herself heal, bro. That's just so fucking stupid. Once again, I just another thing that, like, for some reason, religions just think that they are holier, mightier than thou, and they can make rules and make other people suffer because they can't handle the fact that other people don't believe in their sky daddy. You know? Made it to the end of the video, but at what cost? That's true, Cat Piff. What cost, chat?